My name is Stephen Cates from Rochester, New York. I am the director of the Clinical Priority Program on Infection sponsored by AOTrauma. Today we are going to show you in this video how we will be collecting the specimens for the project number 5, the infection registry for the Clinical Priority Program project here. The specimens will be collected in a standardized manner. They will be prepared in a standardized manner and shipped in a standardized manner from your site to us in Rochester for analysis. It's very important that this is done in the manner that we're showing you in the video, and we will be providing materials so that you can do the collection in the manner that we hope to have you do it in. Also, you will be entering clinical data on the patients. Specimens will be collected at time 0, which is diagnosis, for example, your initial surgery for infection, at 6 months and at a year. The initial material will include a nasal swab from the nares of the patient, a wound swab from the infected wound, and there will also be a serum specimen drawn at the time of diagnosis at 6 months and at 1 year. We'll show you how to collect these. We have employed the services of World Courier, which is the industry leader in shipment of biological specimens, and they are expert in collection of these specimens from your site once they are boxed up and making sure that they end up here promptly in Rochester in good condition. They will take care of the various import and export forms that need to be filled out for your site, but you will need to follow the procedure otherwise that we are showing you. Thanks for participating in the project, and if you do have questions, please contact us, or you may contact me directly at my email.
My name is Jack Deas. I'm working with Dr. Cates and the others here at the Center for Musculoskeletal Research in Rochester on the Clinical Priority Program on Orthopedic Infections. And as part of that program, we are going to be shipping to each of the collection sites kits for collecting samples properly from each of the patients they recruit into the program. So the first thing I want to show you is what will be in the kit that you can expect to receive from us. Each bag, there'll be bags like this with the entire contents of what you need for each patient. Each patient will require 2 swabs, one for the nose and one for the wound site. Those will be the sources of the bacteria that we'll culture here and type and analyze with one of our collaborators. Then I'll have serum collection tubes like this. They'll have serum separators in them. They'll make easy separation, and then transfer pipettes for transferring the serum into cryogenic storage vials. And the most important part, pre-printed labels to make it easy for you to get the labeling correct and aligned between your records and ours. So with those things, you should be able to collect the specimens in the way that we need to have them done. I want to explain one quick thing, which is about how samples will be labeled. And what you can see here is each hospital or site will be designated by a double, by 2 letters, each patient by 2 numbers, and then the type of sample, serum, nasal, or wound, will be indicated by an S, N, or W, and then the date, 2 digits for the date, 2 digits for the month, and 2 digits for the year. Specimens collected by the surgical team need to be processed and stored as quickly as possible. To do this, we're going to be having the 3 specimens, the serum, the nasal swab, and the wound swab. The nasal swab and the wound swab only need to be carefully labeled and stored at -80 degrees. The serum needs to be harvested off of the from the serum separator tube, and that's what we're going to show you next.
Dr. Deus, I'm Dr. Hunter from Orthopedic Surgery. I have one of the clinical samples that you've requested. We have the serum tubes as well as both swabs.
Boy, you guys are great. Thank you.
We are, aren't we?
So, here we have a nasal swab. All I'm going to do with this one is make sure that it's got the study label on it, and it'll be ready for storage at -80. The serum specimens I will then put in the centrifuge and affect the separation. One thing you should know about this, actually, when you get a serum specimen in one of these serum separator tubes, they need to be inverted fully 5 times before separation. Centrifugation is 1,000 times G for 10 minutes. It can be done at room temperature or 4 degrees. Okay, so I have here 2 tubes of freshly drawn blood in the serum separator tubes. I've inverted them multiple times, and now I'm going to place them in the centrifuge and spin them at 1,000 times G for 10 minutes. On this spin, the speed has to be around 1,000 times G. That's maybe 2,000 in a standard tabletop centrifuge, 2,000 RPM. And 4 degrees or room temperature are fine for this separation. What we're really more concerned about is that you do the separation within, well, the shortest possible time after the sample is drawn. A minimum of 30 minutes, but preferably not overnight. We'd like it within a few hours. All right, now that the centrifuge has finished spinning, I'm going to get the samples out. And what you can see is a beautiful straw-colored serum on top of all the red blood cells, which are on the bottom of the clot, or of the serum separator. And now we can easily harvest the serum and store it in our cryovials. All right, so we have our serum separated from the blood, and now we're going to just transfer it into a storage vial for cryogenic storage. First thing I do is label it with the corresponding label, and then I use the transfer pipettes that we've provided. To transfer all of the serum. Into this cryogenic storage vial. And now that, along with the nasal swab and the wound swab, can be stored together in the bag that we provided in the -80 degree freezer, or whatever the best you have that approximates that. So after you've collected specimens from 10 patients, we'd like you to prepare them for shipment using World Courier. As Dr. Cates explained, World Courier is the leader in transport of clinical specimens around the world. They run many clinical studies, and they also do all the transport for the HIV sample collection network. So they will provide a lot of services you might not think about, like topping up dry ice, rescheduling flights, and things that you'd like to not have to worry about to make sure the samples get to Rochester safely and in a timely manner. So, the first thing you'll want to do is call World Courier and ask them to deliver the packing boxes and materials, all of which they will provide. Incidentally, they will also provide all the labeling that you're going to need to get through your countries and the United States Customs and Center for Disease Control regulations. In any event, the other thing I'd like to ask is that you always, always, always ship on Mondays. That gives us a lot of time in case of missed flights to ensure that the samples will arrive in Rochester during that same work week and get properly stored and archived for ensuring the integrity of the sample collection. So now I'm going to show you the steps that you'll be led through by the World Courier agent as you prepare your specimens for shipment. The first thing you'll do is you'll have them in what's called their primary containment, which is the initial sample vials that you've already stored, and you'll have taken out of your freezer, your serum and your nasal swab and your wound swabs. You'll have more than I have here, but you'll have be able to then put them in these absorbent sleeves. These are here in case there's an accident in shipment, so that the entire volume will be absorbed rather than spilled all over, say, the hold of an airplane. These specimens, because they're perceived to be risky specimens, have to be doubly packaged and doubly isolated. So the secondary container is this plastic bag that can be tightly sealed by sealing this adhesive strip. I'm not going to seal it right this minute, but just show you how it's done. Get all the air out, and then you can pull off the strip and seal it closed. I'm just going to fold it over for now and put it in yet another layer of containment, which is this tie-back bag, which is designed to withstand big changes in pressure. Again, you'll fold everything over and use the adhesive strips for sealing, and you'll then place this assembled unit in the bottom of this big shipping box that they also will provide. Once that's in place, you put in this little spacer, and then you fill the remaining space with dry ice. And then before you put the lid in, you've got to put in a shipping manifest that lists the samples, the receiver, your address, our address, and what the samples are, and the CDC permit number. You put that in, and then you can start sealing up your box. And then you can see there's lots of spaces for labeling the box. The labels that have to go on are a UN 3373 label, which tells them that these are non-hazardous medical specimens, and a UN 1845, which tells them that you're shipping dry ice. And on this form you have to put in the amount of dry ice and your address and our address. Finally, you need to affix on the top the World Courier waybill. And then on the back, you need only write in your address and ours, and you'll have this ready for shipment and handing off to the World Courier agent. All right, so just to review, the World Courier agents will provide the box, all of the labeling, all of the packing materials. You need only and the dry ice. You need only provide the specimens and write the shipping address and dates on the labels in the waybill. Everything else will be provided either from us here in Rochester or by the World Courier agent. Additional reminders: we will provide you with pre-printed labels to put on for the shipping and consignee places on the box. The World Courier folks will take care of everything once the box has left your site. You will not be responsible for anything. You will not even need to communicate with us. They will take care of that. They'll be communicating with me directly once your shipment is en route.